So this marks a return of our remote control TV column for the summer of 2021. And today we're going to look at a very interesting trend that occurred a few weeks ago. The final numbers are out. I didn't want to do anything until the playoffs were done because I don't think people would believe it. According to analytics in Sportsnet and CBC, Game 7 of the Montreal-Toronto series, where Montreal won Game 7 to come back from 3-1 down against the Leafs, marking, I think, still marking the first, only one time in the last 17 years Toronto has failed to win a first-round series. So last 17 years, they only won one first-round series. Just kept it going. Now, Game 7 of the first-round tilt between the Leafs and the Canadiens, according to MediaCanada.com, was the most-watched single-night broadcast in Canada across two networks. The final match on CBC recorded an AMA of 2.49 million, with Sportsnet's coverage coming in close second with 2.33 million for the week of May 31st to June 6th. Now, one of the NHL's most storied rivalries managed the best season finales for several of CTV's top shows, with The Good Doctor, Grey's Anatomy, and Station 19 rounding out the nation's top 5 TV ratings. Now, French Quebec also tuned in to watch the Habs take down their North Division rivals on TVA Sports for the top TV sport spot at 1.16 million viewers, with the trend persisting across most markets. Now, NHL playoffs, top Toronto viewing, with Sportsnet taking the top spot over CBC's coverage, which took number 1 in Montreal. Now, Vancouver Victoria didn't have it in the top 5 because America's got down and kind of busted it up. Now, according to Sportsnet's Stanley Cup Playoffs Round 1 analysis, Game 7 between the Habs and the Leafs was the most watched NHL broadcast ever since it started on radio or listen broadcast. In all the NHL games ever, it was the highest rated game. It reached 11 million Canadians, beating the previous record held by Game 6, which reached 10.2 million Canadians. So, with the entirety of Round 1 coverage reaching 19.4 unique Canadians, or 52% of the population, for a year-over-year AME increase of 55%. Now, Toronto fans are still in the Woodstock, New Brunswick region, are still wearing their gear. Saw one at the Walmart today. Actually, I think he was wearing a MAGA hat at the same time. Conspiracy, I wonder. 11 million fans in a population of Canada nearing 38 million. Comparable numbers in the States, you would need at least Super Bowl numbers of 105 to 109 million fans, which is comparable because you got the 10 multiplier. Now, what does it mean for advertising? Well, let me put this in perspective. Did they know that 11 million fans were going to watch Game 7? No, because Toronto took a 3-1 lead. But the ratings built from Game 5, Game 6 where Montreal won in overtime, and Game 7 where Montreal dominated. So, what does that mean if Toronto ever plays Montreal again? Well, it's highly doubtful. But I think advertisers should have took a really quick look at the possibility of this going 7 games. Did people not expect Montreal was going to win the series, or did he think Toronto was going to win in 4 or 5 games? I haven't seen all the numbers for the ad rates for that Game 7, but putting this in perspective, if you paid $10,000 to $50,000 for a 30-second ad, 11 million fans watch it. Let's say it was a chocolate bar or Fleecy or whatever it is, and your sales would have went from $55,000 to $200,000 within the week. Fans are reminded during highly stressed sporting events to support their favorite brands, be it Coca-Cola, be it a bank, be it an insurance company. I know for a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody in New Brunswick was watching that game. Not because of the Montreal Canadiens as well, not because of Big Leafs fans, but Jake Allen Frankton, he has his own fan base. A lot of non-fans of the Habs and Leafs were watching, and this is where it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen. There is only one Canada's team, it's the Montreal Canadiens. Who broke the record? Dallas Cowboys are America's team. They broke the Super Bowl record, I think it was twice, regarding the people watching. You don't really have to explain any more than that. If you're a Toronto Maple Leaf fan listening to this podcast, seek out the numbers. If you had know anybody in the industry, the only reason why people were watching was to see you being humiliated. You knew Montreal, win or lose, is going to recover, but it's almost like watching a car accident, and you know what's going to happen, and the guy is speeding and speeding. You know, someone goes up and down the road 40 times, and the 41st time he hits the local power pole. The Toronto Maple Leafs accident of the 2021 season caused the Montreal Canadiens to break records. Again, they weren't watching to support Toronto. They were just watching to see Toronto lose. And everybody, I know, no Toronto fan watched the whole game. So to get that 11 million fans, give or take, Montreal fans were tuning in more as the game went on, because when they got home, they said, oh, the game's going, oh, Montreal's leading, so they were turning it on. I'd like to see the third period numbers, how it went down in Toronto and went up in the rest of the country. Because the Maritimes, they never broken down the Maritime numbers. I would expect it had to be at least 50 to 100,000 Maritimers were watching that game. And don't forget, CTV has a lot of competition as well. Good Doctor, all these shows, America's Got Talent, because Canada loves its broadcast TV. They have better numbers in Canada than they have in the States right now. I think it's the only thing is saving broadcast TV is because CTV shows most of the broadcast shows in global, like Big Brother and stuff like that. So that's our remote control for today. If you like what we're doing, please let us know with a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, I could go on a litany of why I think Toronto Maple Leafs are a humiliation to its fans, but that's been done to death. But this is real numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Real numbers. 20 million Canadians, unique viewers, want to watch that series. Enough said. Have a good day. Bye.